Have you ever tried a video interview? If you haven't and you're looking for tips, then this is the video for you. A lot of companies now prefer video interviews, especially when they have a lot of applicants, because they can definitely save time and resources. And in your case, it will also be beneficial since you don't have to commute to the office or you don't have to be there physically. You just have to do the interview at the comfort of your home. So this video is the first one wherein we will talk about tips to prepare for your video interview, and the second part, which is going to be published next week, is going to be about the actual video interview. Even before the pandemic, video interviews were already being conducted. In fact, I myself have gone through several video interviews. I remember the first time I was applying as a telemarketer back in college. It was my first attempt, and my only attempt rather, to be a working student. My interview was a video interview, but it was awkward because I couldn't see the interviewer, but she could see me. So but then I just went with it, and it went fine because I got hired. My second video interview was when I was invited to apply for a sales trainer position. And the same thing, the two video interviews I had, I could not see the interviewer. They decided not to show themselves to me. So it was, again, a bit awkward, but I still went with it. And what's up with video interviews where you cannot see the interviewer, but the interviewer can see you? Aren't they supposed to be two-way? But anyway, I prefer two-way video interview. Now my third video interview was already two-way. I could see the interviewer could see me. It was through Zoom communication, and I was applying for a social media manager position. So I've gone through all those video interviews, and everything went well, although it was not totally perfect. There are two types of video interviews. The first one is a live interview, which is the usual. Your interviewer is there, and you're there, and you're being interviewed live. The second one is a pre-recorded interview wherein you will answer a recording, or perhaps the questions will be flashed on your screen, and it's challenging because it is most likely timed and you're given like 2 tries to answer each question, and that interview recording will be reviewed by the recruiter or the hiring manager. Now let's move on to what you need to prepare for your video interview. The first one is definitely yourself. This includes your mindset and your health condition. Now, given that you have already practiced some common interview questions, elevator pitches, you already know what to say during your interview, you have to make sure that you are also in a healthy condition. I have attended an interview before wherein I had acute laryngitis. It was for a trainer position. It was a voice call interview. The doctor's order was clear. I should not speak, even just a whisper, for 1 week, but I had to because that was my interview, and I was so scared and shy to have it rescheduled. Even though the interviewer asked me if I wanted to reschedule, and I told him it's okay, we should just go through with this. So I thought that was a bit awkward and challenging because I was talking and my voice was really not clear because of the acute laryngitis. But the point is that if you can reschedule your interview because you're not feeling well, you're honestly not feeling well, then you should, because it will also affect your confidence, it will affect your disposition and your mindset. It's best to have the interview when you are feeling the best. But we have to acknowledge that you're not always feeling your best, and in most cases you will have to abide by the interview schedules that will be given to you by HR or recruitment team. But in case of emergencies and you really look bad, and it's a video interview, for God's sake, so perhaps you can consider having it rescheduled if possible. Aside from the physical condition, then you also have to prepare your mental state. Even though you're not totally confident, at least you have practiced and planned your interview beforehand, and it will totally help. Now, this is assuming you have already reviewed the role, the job description, you have researched about the company, you have already crafted your resume, and you're confident about what you wrote on your cover letter. All those preparations are done. This time, you only need to prepare the technical stuff, plus your positive disposition for your upcoming video interview. Before we continue, I do want to let you know that I've been working with 𝙈𝙤𝙙 to strengthen my drive of helping people get hired and thrive in the BPO industry. 𝙈𝙤𝙙 is a BPO company that provides career opportunities to Filipinos here in the Philippines. If you are looking for job security and valuable benefits while working at the comfort of your home, then do sign up for our Future Opportunities program. Just click the link on the description below and it will lead you to your Facebook Messenger. To know more about how it works, check out the card linked up on this video. Second, you have to prepare your interview attire and appearance. You might be deciding on whether this is the best thing to wear when I'm just taking the interview at home or on video. You know what? Just don't think about that anymore. Just dress as if you're attending an in-person interview. Just look professional and presentable. And in relation to that, let me give you a few technical tips on how to look your best during your video interview. First, avoid wearing pure black on camera because the webcam will adapt and try to show the black color. This can cause your face to wash out a bit due to overexposure. Second, avoid wearing white, like shirts, blouses, or jackets. Because of how the webcam works and the lighting, white may be too bright and distracting. A light colored shirt or blouse is a better option. Many solid colors will work great, like a dark, deep blue, or a light blue color is one of the best options. Next, super bright colors like bright reds, yellows, pinks can also cause problems and give your skin a slight reddish, unnatural tint on camera. Do not wear stripes, herringbone, or anything that has a busy pattern. As a rule, if there's a very high contrast between two colors, it won't do well on camera. High contrast colors are the colors on opposite sides of the color wheel, if you want to be technical about it, and they tend to provide the most clash. For example, yellow and purple, red and green, those are very contrasting colors and should be avoided. Now let's go to your face. Women should wear at least some makeup on the nose and forehead to avoid shininess. A nice advantage of the webcam is that you can see how you look ahead of time and fix any shine. For men, if you're naturally shiny or you sweat a lot, a little makeup will help too. If you wear glasses, they will ideally be glare-proof so there's no reflection of the light. You want your interviewer to see your eyes and not a distracting glare. If you have contacts, it might be a good idea to use them. The next thing is your interview room or area. It should be a location with a clean background, not distracting, and preferably with a good lighting condition, especially when your webcam is not HD. It is also a good idea to avoid having a mirror reflection show up on camera. So you don't want something embarrassing to show up through the reflection when you least expect it. Backgrounds are important too. A neutral background is your best bet. A plain wall, a screen, a bookshelf with nothing odd on the shelves is fine. If you're really concerned about background or there are elements you cannot control, your best bet is to hang a solid color curtain or cloth. A good rule to have is to maintain at least 2 feet of distance from the background behind you. That way, there's less of an ugly shadow. The more distance, the more flattering. And of course, inform your family members or your roommates that you have an interview. You know, just in case someone asks you to wash the dishes while your interview is ongoing. Next is your internet or bandwidth. Obviously, a good internet connection is very important because you don't want to get cut off or you don't want to have any technical interruptions when you are doing your interview. Although you cannot truly rely on your Wi-Fi connection, I actually used Wi-Fi for all of my video interviews. But the safest way to go is really to use a wired connection. So your DSL, broadband, or fiber connections are better options. Unless your internet speed is at least 10 Mbps, then you might be able to actually work on that for your video conferencing calls or interviews, which I did when I had mine and I had no problems at all. I even used my phone during my last video interview. It was through Zoom, so I just downloaded and installed the app, and I used my phone because I thought my camera phone is better than my webcam. Another important thing to note is to avoid using a shared connection when you're doing your video interview. For example, your brother or your sister is streaming on Netflix or doing something else. It might also take up your bandwidth that you're supposed to use and have when you're doing your video interview. Now for your webcam, as I've mentioned, I have tried a phone camera and it went well, but it's really best to use your laptop or your computer and an external camera. But let's say you're doing it now in the middle of this coronavirus crisis, then your laptop camera will be your best bet. Use your phone only if you are 100% confident with your Wi-Fi connection. Now let me show you a couple of ways to accomplish this. First option, using an external webcam. Place the webcam on a stack of books or a box behind your monitor. You'll want the webcam to be above your eye line and almost in line with the top of your head. The second option is your built-in webcam. So similar to the first example, using the external webcam, place your laptop on something so that the webcam is above your eye line and in line with the top of your head. When it comes to lighting, ideally you should be taking the interview in a location where there is just enough natural light or artificial light, whichever is more convenient, and just enough for you to look radiant and bright on screen. If you're in a tight budget and you don't really have so much time to prepare, then you can simply get your desk lamp and position it just beside your laptop or your computer so that at least it illuminates your face and it's not too dark when you're doing your video interview. Next, practice taking a video of yourself and send it to your family and friends for feedback. This way, you'll be able to build your confidence because you already know how to speak in front of the camera, and you can see which things you need to improve, like maybe your facial expression, your voice modulation, and anything that you need to check. Lastly, do a complete tech run-through. As you know, you are using technology for this job interview. So even though you prepare as much as you can, there will still be times when technology will fail, unfortunately. So here is a checklist of what you need to consider before your video interview. First, clear your desk and have your resume in front of you in case you need to review it. Next, check your lighting. Next, check your webcam and make sure the settings are optimized. Check your video conferencing tool, whether you're using Skype or Zoom, and make sure that it's working. Check that your mic is also working and that you can be heard clearly. Another, make sure the webcam is placed in the right spot. Check your clothes and face and how you look on camera. Make any adjustments when needed. Close out any other programs that might interfere with the webcam. Check your internet connection and ensure that it is strong. Make sure you're not downloading something in the background, as that will affect your video quality. Also, you can place a short video test call to someone, if possible, just to see if everything's working well. Next, if you tend to have a lot of browser tabs open, then close them out because you don't want a memory issue during your interview. Now have your resume, job description, and your notes printed out and handy just in case you need to check something. And lastly, have a bottle of water nearby because you will need it for sure, I think. And there you have it. Hope this video will help you prepare for your upcoming video interview or interviews. If you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. Road to 100K. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next video. Take care and stay safe.